Hello, my beautiful souls. My name is Zanaya Patrice, and welcome back to When Shift Happens. This is a podcast catered to anyone who is feeling like they are stuck in this in between phase, not quite who they used to be, but not yet who they want to be. This is a space where we are healing together, getting to the root. At this point, I am full on devoted to my purpose. Yeah, like there's really nothing or nobody that can stop me at this point. Um, as cocky or conceited as that sounds, I have literally put myself on the back burner for basically everybody in my life at some point, and now I'm just fed up with it. Like, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to love on myself, and I feel like all of these things that have been coming up with me is just the opportunity for me to go within. And I want to say, like, yesterday I had a day, okay? I don't want to say it was a bad day or a good day, but just know that I woke up on some BS. And I went to Trader Joe's early, and I got there a whole hour early, and they were not open, and that upset me like to the T. And I feel like it's so many little small things at this point that are just triggering me. And it had me questioning if all the healing work that I've been doing has actually been working. Because if it was working, then I wouldn't be triggered by these things, right? That's what we would think. But really, I believe that these things that are triggering me is coming up so I can implement all the skills, knowledge, and wisdom that I have accumulated over my journey. Um, yeah, it's just molding me to be the woman of my dreams. Don't talk about it, be it. And so that's pretty much where I am at this point in my life. Just taking it one day at a time, one step at a time. So on today's podcast, I'm just gonna free flow. Hopefully this reaches anyone that is supposed to reach. I don't think this episode is gonna be too long because I feel like at this point it's more about sitting with ourselves, like truly being with ourselves, listening to our inner child in regard to what we want to be doing, listening to our body, sinking, fully embracing who we are as a person, as a being, and then reflecting and sharing that with the world. That's really just where I am at this point. And yeah, so I recently started The Artist's Way by Julia. I can't remember her last name, but I'm pretty sure it starts with a C. Um, it's a book for people who want to unblock certain energy so they can tap more into their creative side. And so, this book has been circulating for as long as I can remember anything about books. And I just always saw it as like maybe in the future when, I'm really ready to pursue my passions or go after my dreams. I knew I wasn't necessarily ready to start the book when I first started seeing it, when it first started to reveal itself in my life, in this reality. And I'm okay with that because to each his own, we're on our own journeys. So maybe the information wouldn't have penetrated the way I needed it to when I first heard about the book as it is doing so much to help me now. I hope y'all got what I meant. Like, when I first saw the book, it wasn't the right time, but now that it's circulated back around, I felt I was ready to truly tap into that power. So yeah, the book came back around in my world, and I went to the library, found a PDF, and I printed it. So basically, I'm going to be printing the book week by week. So this is not only getting me out the house to go to the library to print the book, but also to make the effort because I took the time to even go there and print the book. Now I have paper a book that I can actually annotate on, write little notes and um, wisdom that catches my eye when I need it to reread it. And so that's what I've been doing. Nice little challenge for myself. It's supposed to be a part of, or we're creating this book club using this book. And I'm just really excited. So basically, The Artist's Way, um, in the beginning, she gave an introduction to who she is, how she came about writing this book, and within this book, it's basically breaking down for the next 12 weeks, each week catering to a different type of like limiting belief that we have that's basically blocking us from seeing how we too can be successful and connected with the world. So, yeah, in the beginning, introduction, we also got an assignment that basically you have to write 3 pages every single day as you're rising pages. As soon as you rise up from your bed, getting ready for your day, you write 3 pages. Free write whatever comes to mind, even if you gotta write, I don't have anything to write about. I don't have anything to write about. I don't have any. You're gonna write 3 pages. Eventually, you're gonna come up with something to write about. Even if you're just talking about the bird outside your window. You're like, yeah, this bird been chirping, low-key pissing me off for like the last 3 minutes. I don't know. Write something, anything, just to get yourself into the flow. And me being such a big writer, I love to write. Inspired to write my own books in the future, yes. And just allowed me to just hold myself accountable to actually showing up for myself every single day by just simply writing 3 pages. You get things out of your head, get them on paper, you can reread them and see, hear what you're really going through within your life, and that in itself can help shift the way you see the world. So I think that's really helpful when you are struggling to figure out where to go next. What's the next steps in your life to take? And I feel like that's where I am right now. Like I know where I'm gonna end up. I know I'm not quite there yet. I know I'm not the person of my past. And what happened in the past I have no control over, so there's no need to worry about that. But also I do know that the present moment is the most important moment. And what I choose to do in this moment will determine my future. So yeah, the rising pages, amazing way to just reflect on how you're showing up for yourself in the world. And then the other assignment is to at least weekly, 2 hours sitting with yourself, your inner child, doing whatever makes you happy. That means going to the park and playing on the monkey bars as something that's fun. Go do that. I just did that the other day. That was literally my artist's date. And that's what it is. You're basically committing to taking the time to sit with yourself, setting a date with yourself as an artist, and just being creative, doing whatever flows, doing whatever you feel called to do to tap more into that energy of releasing, releasing energy because we store so much knowledge up in this brain of ours, but we also store a lot of trauma within our body, um, experiences, and that lingers. The energy definitely does linger. So it's just always good to just come back home to yourself and love on yourself and do the things that make you happy. So that's what I've been doing. I've been taking my lunch breaks from work and going to the park, walking around the park. I love the park. Looking at the moon, toes out in the grass. Just basically taking time for myself. But yeah, this podcast episode was basically like talking about loving on yourself, even when you're unsure of where you're headed. Just taking the time to acknowledge that sometimes you just don't have control over certain things. And yes, we can expect people to show up in a certain way in our lives, but Nine times out of ten, they won't because they're their own person on their own journey, experience things that you probably never experienced or couldn't relate. So you just gotta give people grace and also give yourself grace. Be patient with yourself. This is healing. Like we are literally doing healing work by being here on earth. Not only are we healing ourselves, but we're healing our family, our friends, our partners. Every single day, we are taking the time to pour our energy and attention into something. So just be more intentional with the energies you invite into your bubble. You know, everything that glitters ain't gold. I'm starting to really realize that. Took the rose colored glasses off and I'm like, wow, the world is cold out here. I low key want to stay in my crib because the way things be moving outside of my bubble is like, is it safe? Does it feel safe? Do these people feel safe to you? Do these situations make you feel safe? If they don't, let them go. Let them be. I feel like in all of my past relationships, I tried to have so much control over my partner because I was afraid that they were going to do something that would destroy me, hurt me so badly that I feel like I'm not worth anything. You know what's so funny? It ended that way. It almost all of them ended the exact same way of me feeling that way. And I don't know if that was just me meditating. I don't know if that was just me manifesting that to happen in my reality or I just foresaw it. Foreseen it? I seen it happen before it happened. And listen, it's rough. It's rough. It really does hurt when people show you who they are and it doesn't match the description that you have for them within your mind. Now they're showing completely different energy. Like, was this you from the beginning? Did we really have what we thought we had? Was it real? That's why you always come back to self. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Make sure that you are still pouring into yourself because you can get lost in these relationships. Whatever type of relationship it is, you can lose yourself if you pour too much energy outward instead of inward. You know, that's where I'm at. Just accepting what it is, not having control. You gotta let people be who they are. You have to. You have to. You have to let people be who they are. You be you, worry about you, and you wouldn't be focused on what they doing. And that's where I'm at. I am shifting the focus back to me, loving on me first, prioritizing me first, doing the things that make me happy. This is literally my reality. This is your reality. This is your reality. You know, if I can tell my younger self, my early 20s self, because the girl is now 27, so I got some years in this 20s ish, okay? I got the knowledge that came with being in your 20s. You know what I would say? I would say to live your dreams. Whatever you dream of, whatever you're passionate about, go after that. Do exactly that. That's what's going to make you happy. Even when everything around you is causing you chaos, at least you have something to be grateful for. Always be grateful. There's always something. Even if you feel like you have nothing in life, you have something. And if you can't think of anything, you have me. Come talk to me. Because I love you. I love you. So yeah, that's what I would tell my younger self.